Well, welcome to Payments Unpacked live on Friday, the 10th of April, 2026. You can see the sun's almost out. It's the end of the bank holiday week. I'm on the beach in Suffolk. I'd like to say it's warm, but frankly, it's not. So, 3 payment stories for you today. Do leave a message in the message box, give it a heart for a like, ask me a question, and if I can see them come up on the screen, I'll be very happy to try and answer them on this Payments Unpacked live. I can see people joining already, so that's fantastic news. Good to see. So I don't know about you and payments. Is payment your thing? Would you use a payments nerd, a payments geek? Well, if I gave you a subject to speak about payments for 60 seconds without hesitation, without repetition, and without deviation, could you do that? Well, this morning we recorded the 3rd episode of 60 Seconds, which is a Payments Unpacked payments comedy program. You'll find link below in terms of look at some old ones, and we'll air a new one on Monday. But 6 seconds takes topic and asks people to talk without deviating, without repetition, without hesitation for 60 seconds. The panel this morning, I was so pleased to be joined by Xenia Winter. She's a bit of a reigning champion in previous 60 Seconds episodes. Teresa Connors, Edward Ireland, and Robert White. For Ed and Robert, it was their first time on 60 Seconds this morning, and they all tried to speak for 60 seconds without hesitation, without repetition, and without deviation on subjects as diverse as my payments vision, why contactless payments know more about me than my family, and the suspicious life of a £5 note. They were the topics they talked about. The 3rd edition of 60 Seconds aired on Monday. It will be advertised on Payments Unpacked, but if you want to get it direct to your inbox, be first to watch, then do please click on the link below and subscribe to the 60 Seconds feed. And you'll make sure you get every version of 60 Seconds that comes through every couple of months. A little bit of a chance to laugh at ourselves, to challenge our colleagues, and to demonstrate whether we are or aren't payment geeks, whether we can or can't speak for 60 seconds without duplicating, without hesitating, and without deviation on subjects such as contactless payments and checks and faster payments. Do click on the link below and I'll see that on Monday. Thanks for tuning in to Payments Unpacked Live. If you are watching live, I'll try and answer any questions that you've got. Thank you for the people who've joined already. I can see that in the list. Perfect. Thank you for that. If you're watching on replay, next time, catch me live at 1 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, UK time, wherever I am. As I said, today I'm in Suffolk. So I did mention it was the end holiday week in the UK, and in many countries we celebrate Easter holiday. It's the 2nd week, and last Sunday was Easter Sunday, and generally not much goes on in payments on a weekend, particularly on a Sunday, particularly on a bank holiday. But we as Payments Unpacked had the privilege of being able to publish a report. We were the first to bring this to people's attention. It was a report by Faith Reynolds of Devonfield Consulting. It was called Hidden Heroes, Bridging the Digital Divide. And there is a reason that we were really pleased to carry that first on Sunday, because most of us have really eschewed a world of managing our money in an analog way. When did you last write a check, attach it to a bank giro credit, and either put it in the post or present it at the bank to make the payment? When did you last put some savings money, the rainy day money, in a jam jar or an envelope on the side, just in case you need it? For most of us, that's a very distant memory, and we've adopted a digital way of managing our money and also in terms of making payments. And we might say that all those tools we've chosen to use are empowering, they're liberating, they make life easier, they save us time. And you know what? For most of us, that's absolutely true. And how annoyed we get when a password doesn't work, or where something's not online and we don't get an update. Those odd little niggles we do find hard to cope with and frustrating. Imagine if you're in the situation where you couldn't access, for whatever reason, some of those digital divides. It might be financial reasons, it might be capability reasons, it might be your eyesight, whatever it is. What if you couldn't access these digital products and therefore you couldn't manage your money in a digital way? Well, Faith Reynolds and Devonfield Consulting report, you can see the link via Payments Unpacked below, looked at the challenges that people face in terms of financial inclusion and the fact of managing their money. And they estimated that there are 11 million people in the United Kingdom who regularly help friends, family, partners manage their money digitally on their phone. It might be through the sharing passwords. It might be in terms of lending a phone. It might just be an eye over the shoulder in terms of people looking to press buttons and have the confidence and trust to make the payments. 11 million people in the United Kingdom. But do you know what? In this report, Heroes reports, here's a Heroes report, they also try to quantify that in terms of what the cost of that might be. And you can see it's obviously very windy here in Suffolk because there's wind to blew the camera over. So that's a good start. I'm going to have to hold on to it. It's that windy. But the report also two particular extra pieces of information, because what they tried to do was to quantify how much this is costing if they were to put it into pounds, shillings and pence based on the national living wage. And if they took and multiplied out the cost of people, these 11 million people helping regularly people manage their money digitally, it would equate to £332 million a month. Let me just say that again. £332 million a month. And if they were to say, well, how much time are people spending? 10% of those 11 million people they're helping are committing over 10 hours a month in terms of supporting their friends, their family, their partner in a digital payments and digital money and digital environment. They are amazing figures. I want to encourage you to go and look at this report. You'll find access to it on the Payments Unpacked website, payments-unpacked.com. There's a link in the notes below. But do go and look at the report, even if you only read the exec summary. I'd encourage you to read the lot. It's not long. But even if you read the exec summary and try and understand what your part could be in making it easier for folk to manage their money, to deal with digital facets of their life. Now, it might be just because that compels you to say, I'm going to have to help that elderly aunt. I need to help that person who's visually impaired. I need to help that friend who just struggles with anything digital. It might be more fundamental. You might decide to go and do something about it in your payments job, in your payments world, or in your fintech environment. But the report is called Hidden Heroes, Bridging the Digital Divide. You'll get it from payments-unpacked.com. There's a link below. Encourage you to read it and apply what Faith and her team, the report was supported by Link, but Faith Reynolds and her team looked at, and try and find a way of applying some of those findings into your life. Our third story today is the culmination of our 3 guest blogs by Jeremy Light from Agenda Payments. These 3 guest blogs were about faster payments. This third blog is called Keep On Running. And it was really about looking at the current faster payments and where it might be going, some of the lessons learned that got us to where we are today, and what the future might hold. Again, you'll find the link in payments-unpacked.com. There's a link below. Do that. Click on Keep On Running and you can read Jeremy's excellent blog. If you like what Jeremy's saying, do go and subscribe to his Substack. It's called Agenda Payments. You'll find it quite easily in Google. But it was the third of our guest blogs. It was the final one. And as Jeremy looked at some of the lessons and some of the thinking about the future, Jeremy estimated there's currently 40 to 50 real-time payment instances around the world. And the UK, in terms of per capita, ranks about 22. Now, a lot of that's got to do with, particular dynamics within the country. I'm not going to dig into that. What it does show to me is that you look at the payments per capita for faster payments in the UK, there's still a lot of growth left in faster payments. But it ranks 22. But I would say that even though it ranks 22 out of 40 to 50 instances around the UK, you're missing the point if we only think about where it ranks. There are 3 other things. The first thing is, how much has faster payments transformed the way we choose who we pay, how we pay, and when we pay? Massive transformation in terms of making those payments away from cash and check. But secondly, real-time payments has had a huge impact in terms of the payments mix in the UK. 12% of payments in the UK are made by faster payments. That's an amazing number. Now, you said that in terms of the whole payments mix, which includes cash and everything else, but it's a significant number. Faster payments has made a massive impact in the way we pay. But even bigger than that is that faster payments, albeit since 2008, albeit stuck in ASPIC, albeit near real time, all those things you might say are a bit of a downer on faster payments. it's still had a massive impact on instances of faster payments being introduced right around the world. I've said it before, I think it bears sort of saying it again. I was out in a Middle Eastern country a few years ago, just before they introduced their own real-time payment system. And they said to me, it was a central bank, a very senior person, said to me, Mike, you've got the granddaddy of instant payments. Tell me about it. Tell me what you did. And we had an experience and conversation, which not only I felt I could opportunity to talk to this very senior person about the benefits of faster payments here in the UK, but I took the opportunity to say, we learned a few lessons as well. Here are some hints that might help you as introduced from day one in the UK. And there are things like float, things like fraud, things like settlement periods, lots of things you can talk about. But there's much to be proud about our UK instance of faster payments. But do look through payments-unpacked.com, use the link below, check out Jeremy Light's Agenda Payments guest blog, where he talks about the faster payments, lessons learned, and for the future. Well, look, guys, they are my 3 stories for this week. I did initially think it would be a quiet week because it's a bank holiday week. Everything is very quiet. But anyway, the 3 stories come front of mind. I'm on the beach. I'd like to go and say I'm going swimming, but it's frankly far too cold in the North Sea. You'll also see it's windy. I blew my camera over a minute ago, so I'm not going to be sunbathing either. I guess I'll find something else to do. But if you're watching live, thank you for joining Payments Unpacked Live. We're here every Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. If you watch on replay, you either got that through Substack or you've got it through your subscription to Payments Unpacked. Thanks. Do give me some comments on what you think of Payments Unpacked Live, but why not be there for live 1 p.m. every Friday UK time. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.